Alrighty, live. Cool. Okay, so today I want to just share a little more info about the well of grief, the importance of it, how it'll change your life. So tomorrow's it's a 4-part series. We've already done 2. So the third one is tomorrow, loss of others and self. That loss thing. Okay, that includes critters. I remember I lost my dog, and it was like as bad as losing a human. It was so intense, so painful. So that grief thing, if you clean up the grief that's in there, then the intensities aren't so bad. You hear chickens. I'm not hearing chickens. I mean, there are chickens, not here, but you can hear them out there, but the windows are closed. So I don't know where you're hearing chickens. That's cute. So, well of grief, the series on well of grief. Like I said, okay, so think about this. People don't realize, but a lot of the grief and sadness that you're experiencing isn't just from this lifetime. Oh, my chair, that's what it is. Yeah. So, like I know I've said this before, but for anybody new, it's like I saw this, discovered the well of grief inside of people when one of my early clients, when I moved to Auburn, opened my practice there, and the first woman, this was back in 1984, 85, yeah, and she had so much sadness, so I went in there, it was like, whoa, and I saw this whole thing, so I started tracking other people, okay, then I started tracking humanity. Everyone's got it. I mean, I label it like a well of grief because that's what it looks like. It's just like there's so much grief in the body, it's just like this whole tube of grief. And just think about it. It's like all the different lifetimes of all the different sadnesses that you never processed, that you never completely surrendered to, okay, that you never really felt all the way. It gets carried over. Think about this. Anything that you don't feel all the way gets carried over in your soul imprint. And then when you incarnate, all that energy is in you again. And it doesn't just go away. Okay. It doesn't just dissipate. You have to go through it. So a lot of times if you pay attention or you notice, sometimes you might be feeling a sadness. And you're thinking, wow, the intensity just doesn't make sense for what the experience is that you're having this great sadness over. So when we start clearing out that grief, okay, it's just like, think about it, it's just compacted, dense, okay? So it's there, and then when we start releasing it, clearing it out, the energy starts to lighten up and it gets clearer. And ultimately what we really want is we want to have normal feelings, emotions, okay? That means that we want them to be relative to the experiences that we're having. And when you have massive grief in there, it's not real, you know what I mean? It's like it's bigger, more intense than what the situation warrants, okay? So as we start releasing and clearing all that energy, it gets lighter, and this is ultimately, you guys, and I know this through direct experience. I've shared this before. You all probably know, Angela, Abigail, you all know this. I've already said it, but for new people, I'm going to say it again. I always had a grief, you know what I mean? Like there was always some kind of grief. I could feel it. I could drop in. I couldn't get it all gone. And then last year, I had an experience where I discovered an unconscious belief that my dad didn't love me. That was it. I could never find it. Okay, now remember, he died when I was 16. He left when I was like 3.5, and we didn't see him. He was gone. So when he died, that was like the shattering part. But never did I get the part that I had a belief that he didn't love me. When I got that part, intense. It was so intense, you guys. I mean, I dropped in. I just let it happen. I dropped in. I was on the floor. I mean, I was hysterically crying, the intensity of it. but I moved, as I moved the energy out, then I started connecting with that part of me that was, I had that belief her daddy didn't love her. And then I connected with that part of me, and she was crying, blah, blah, blah. And then it was so we got through that. And pretty soon she was like, oh, and then because he did love us. He did love me. I know he did. Okay. But it was a belief. So once I cleared that belief, then I could feel his love. And then that part of me was done. She went and got her tea set that I forgot I had. The grief, the sadness it's gone. I'm telling you. Okay. Gone. Okay. I cannot find any depth of sadness. Okay. So now what happens if there's something that it might be sad, it's hard to even find sad. Okay. Now I'm sure if someone died, I'd feel sad. Okay. But it still will never be the intensity that I was holding, because it was lifetimes of all this extreme grief and sadness. Okay. So that's why I'm doing the Well of Grief series, because I know everyone has carryover grief and sadness, despondency, bad, forsaken, pain, anguish. Okay. So when we clear that out, your life has changed. You are different. Okay, hang on. Abigail. Yeah. So Abigail, hang on. Let me pin Abigail right there. So she's saying, I've been that way lately over her daughter, worrying about her relationship long term, and love her dearly. Of course you do. Okay. But I want to make something really clear, Abigail. The sadness you're feeling, it's not really about your daughter. Okay. People, the sadness is ancient. It's old. It's been in their lifetimes. That's the intensity. Okay. When we find the key to that intensity, like for me, it was, the Father's love. Okay. Which equates to, on some level, creation itself, love of creation itself. Lifetimes. Yes, sweetie. Okay. So your daughter's the key. She's the trigger. Okay. She's the activator. Okay. She's causing that reaction. She's activating the deep wound. So in order to release that wound, here's what I would do. I use my feelings with my daughter. I'm going to pretend like I'm you, Abigail. Okay. I go ahead and let myself feel into that pain of, my daughter, worrying about her, whatever that is. And I would let myself just really drop in and just really come into the pain, the actual physical, emotional pain. Okay. Then I keep going into that pain, and I become that pain, so that there's no thought anymore about my daughter. There's no thought of anybody. There's no thoughts. No thoughts. You gotta have no thoughts. Okay. Just become that emotion to the point to where you're shattering, your heart is breaking, you feel like you're going to die. Okay. But you keep going. What'll happen is energies will start to present. Memories, even past life can present. Okay. And yeah, loss of your own essence. That's why tomorrow is loss of self and others, your own self, okay, your own connection. So that deep grief. And so, Abigail, sweetie, when you go through that, going in and just moving the energy, the intensity will shift with your daughter, okay? Because it's not about your daughter. She's just the trigger, okay? Think about this. I want to explain something, which you would all learn and know thyself, okay? So your daughter... everything's before you even come in, you've made agreements. Your daughter and you made agreements, as well as your ex-husband, however this is all playing out, but that this would happen to help you find these pieces, to find this deep sadness. Okay. So you've made these agreements at the soul levels. You come in, of course, everybody forgets, but you're still playing everything out. Now this all happens. Now you're coming up against this deep sadness. Okay. So your daughter is key to help you find this. Now your job now is, your daughter is the activator. Once you feel the feelings, you have to let go of the activator. You let go of her. Let go that she's the one. You drop into those emotions, go through them as deeply and profoundly as you can. And even when you're doing it, because once you start understanding how to do your emotional work, you can use that experience to start finding things like feeling forsaken, feeling the hopelessness and helplessness, okay, of your experience. These energies are in your subconscious, and your higher levels, your soul are trying to get you to go through these so you can unravel all of that pain and be done with it. Okay. When you are, the pain is gone. Your connection with your daughter changes. All kinds of things potentials can happen. Okay. But you have to go through it. Okay. So, but also on top of all of this, what's really awesome is I learned how to clear out the emotional energy out of my clients. My team can clear emotional energy out of you. Okay. So tomorrow in the group clearing, in the well of grief, it's loss of others and self. Okay. That means your critters, your loved ones, whatever. Any losses you've had. Let's get that out. Also, your loss of self, loss of, like Marta's saying, loss of your own essence. Okay. Loss of purity, loss of innocence. Anybody who's been violated, like that was one of the things I had to go through, was my loss of innocence, my loss of purity. It was never going to come back, ever. It was taken like at 3 years old. Okay. Some people it's even younger, but still. So as we clear out that well of grief, because I can release those energies when we have topics, like for example, the first one was abandoned and forsaken. The second one was soul-shattering despondency. And then tomorrow is loss of others and self. I'm specifically going after particular emotions, okay? And in that, energy is being shifted and lifted out of you. So when that happens, you are different. You're freer. The depth of pain isn't the same, okay? You don't have to go through what I went through, which is a lifetime of doing my inner work and going into depths of pain. I didn't have anybody that could spin it out of me. Okay. That's why I started teaching my classes back in 1994. I wanted someone who could do what I can do. So it's like, yeah, I led the way, did it. Now I know how. And now that I've done that, and then also spinning out of you, we can release it. So you don't have to go through years and years and years of the same old thing that I went through. Okay. So it's like magic. Marta's saying, okay, hang on. Let me what's Marta saying? I can sort of read it. Hang on, I'm going to pull her up. Okay, it's about a past life mother that showed up as a twin lost in utero in this life. Ah, right. Okay. It's okay. So now that you know that, which is really awesome, that you understand and you know that. Okay. But Marta, for you too, it's still about going in. There's a pain there. There's there's a loss. Okay. And what happens to people, we leave our own energy, we leave our essence in different places. Okay. This is another thing for, like with Marta, you had that past life with the mother, that died. Okay. The mother, and now it was a twin. I'm thinking in this life. Yeah. Lost in utero in this life. Yeah. So it was the mother and another one. Now she's with you, and then you lost again. That soul is trying to help you get through this pain by presenting loss. Okay, use the emotion that's there in the twin as the beginning. As that's the trigger. That's the activator. That's the reaction. Use that emotion. Keep dropping in, and then that it's connected to the loss of that mother. Then find when you're in that emotion. The intention is now to feel the loss of the mother, okay? Which ultimately, that's not the end. Ultimately, it is the separation from creation. When we first separated, it felt like we were separated. That's the ultimate pain, as the separation from the oneness, God, creator, creation, all that is, okay? When you go through that one, lots of healing happens. Okay. So that will everything leads back to the seed, to the core. Okay. Everything. So, Abigail, your daughter, and not Marta, you're in loss in utero. All this will lead you back to the core. We get that core, then we're going to discover there is no separation. The separation occurs, the feeling or sense of separation occurs because of our consciousness. We're consciously aware of us. Okay. We're not we're not in that connection. What we're not realizing is that this is a part of the all that is. So think about this. Your awareness, the awareness of you right here, right now, your awareness of me. Just do that. Just be aware. Take your awareness and you know, you can, when you look through your eyes, you can literally see, like, you know, the occipital around your eyes. What you want to do is you want to be right here looking through your eyes, but having the awareness of seeing right through your eyes, have the awareness of my voice. That awareness is the same awareness that we all are. We are all that awareness, okay? It's the consciousness. Ultimately, it is the consciousness. Now, the consciousness isn't having the awareness of the separation. Consciousness is conscious of everything. Awareness lets us be aware of our own consciousness. We have become aware that, oh, this awareness I have, this consciousness that I am, is the same as everyone. We are all the same consciousness. We're all the same awareness, okay? So that helps us to start recognizing, oh, there really is no separation, okay? But because we're in these human bodies, this physical form, that physical form, everything that's physical, whether it's material, you know, Maya, humans, whatever, we see ourselves as this, and then it becomes separate, okay? But when you start practicing with the awareness, having the awareness, you know, that we're all, the consciousness that we are is the same. And also that consciousness and awareness that we are is also eternal. That's the part of us. You can't hurt it. It's not hurt. It's not shattered. It's not broken, okay? It has no pain. There's no pain in there. Okay, when you start coming into your own light that everyone has and everyone is, that's God creator consciousness. That is us. There's no pain in there. Okay, remember I've talked about this before. Everybody here I see, you've all been taken in here, coming into your own divine light. When you're in there, there's nothing. There's no pain. There's no angst. There's no separation. There's nothing except pure unconditional love. That's it. Okay, so we are that. And so now when you look at the well of grief, we identify with the well of grief. We are feeling the pain of the well of grief. When that isn't there, you don't have that pain. You can still have situations going to be exactly the same, but the pain will not be the same. It won't be devastating. It won't be shattering, okay? You won't be like in excruciating pain. It'll be a pain that, yes, it's a pain of being in a human body, the pain of being alive, the pain of life. And, you know, all life is suffering. You got to know that, right? Until it isn't. That was my mission, okay? Get through it. And I know I've told you all many times, I was seeking enlightenment. 1984, I was seeking enlightenment because I had my first experience of enlightenment. It lasted for a while, and I knew that this is what we want to live. This is who we are. It didn't last, but then I had it happen 2 more times, okay? Years apart. And it wasn't induced by anything. I was not doing anything. One day I was at the Renaissance Center. I was doing something in the kitchen, looked out the window. There was a deer, and all of a sudden I went into that state. Fully aware, fully awake, fully realized, and just being one with everything. No good, bad, right, wrong, nothing. This is why I teach what I teach. You guys had direct experience. There is no good, bad, right, wrong, okay? There's no great suffering. It's all that emotional stuff. It's the attachments, it's the beliefs that we all have. It's the false self and the ego that we've created to be accepted, to feel loved. We're all trying to find our way to feel loved, okay? Okay, hang on a second. What is this? Okay, I'm in surrender Sundays. Again, I'm pulled into the loop of grief. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. Okay, can't locate where my wound of not wanting baby comes from. I couldn't conceive, and now I don't know if I will because my marriage is over. I couldn't locate the wound that is triggering. Yeah, okay. So still, whatever you are aware of, that trying to understand that, trying to figure out, oh, what is it? Is it this or is that? It doesn't matter. What matters is pick one. Pick one. The wound of not having a baby. Okay. Pick that right there. Okay. And just track it. Go into it. Go into the grief of that. Keep just going deeper, deeper, deeper into that. And then we'll start hitting the subconscious, and then other energies will start presenting. Okay. But the more you just surrender, the more you're able to surrender to an emotion and let the energy move through you, knowing it. This is how we know it, through the surrender. Okay. There's no mind. The moment you have a thought, you are no longer in surrender. This is key. Okay. So when you surrender, drop in and die to it. And again, I'm going to tell you, you're going to feel like you're going to die. You're going to feel like your heart is breaking, because it feels like it is. You're going to feel like you're going to go crazy. You're going to feel like you're never going to come out. It gets scary. But you got what? You got something better to do? You want to come back and be in great suffering? I'd rather die than, have the great suffering, but you're not going to die. That's the thing. Okay. So we got another, okay, here's another question here. Anna, are there more wells of grief other than, yes. Well, yes, we have other wells of grief clearings in our, wherever we get the vault or wherever we got clearings, the past clearings. Yes, we have several, I'm believing. Okay. So we have lots of well of grief. And think about this. The grief isn't, there are so many ways to have grief, when someone leaves you, like for example, when my mother and father abandoned us, left us alone with a grandmother who tortured me, we were, it was great suffering. So there was the loss of mother, loss of father, abandonment, feels like rejection. Okay. Everyone's got it. Everyone, in this lifetime or another, but everyone's got it. So, it's like, it's a journey, people. Think about this. I began my inner work in 1984. Okay. What year is this? 2025. And I just got that piece around my dad. I'm telling you, I've been doing, every time anything would happen, I went in and unraveled as much as I could. Okay. I didn't have someone like me that could release energies. But it's a journey, people. Don't be thinking that, oh, you cry one time and all your grief is over. No, you got lifetimes of grief, lifetimes of sadness, lifetimes of losses and rejections and, being killed and all this stuff. It's major. So one step at a time. And every time you get a piece, you are changed. You are different. Better. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So here's what it is. So what? Oh, I just hit the wrong one. Hang on. Got the wrong one. Okay. So, she's telling you, Anna, there's a well of grief. Okay. There's a well of grief. I've done a well of grief, but there's a recording in there. But we're doing a series now. Tomorrow's number 3 series. Okay. Hang on a second. What's Pre saying? Okay. So, Bonnie, how do you get deep with an emotion? Through meditation, at least in the beginning. Okay. So for me, I felt grief my entire life, okay? Because when my dad left, that was excruciatingly painful. Then, both parents basically left, abandoned. And that alone was every day I cried, every day there was a sadness, okay? But but to help people who are looking to try and find their emotion, it's not necessary through meditation. It's through like whatever life experiences. Have you had something that's triggered you, that made you feel a deep emotion? Okay. It can be, a loss, or someone leaves. Like for example, for me personally, one of the big ones was this one. When I was in 3rd grade, my best friend Petey, who she was my buddy. We, stayed overnight with each other from really kindergarten. We met and then we connected, bonded, and we, played together. And then she moved away in the middle of 3rd grade, at the beginning of 3rd grade. You guys, I'm going to add a story here. It's a true story. I cried about her. It was devastating. It shattered me. Okay. So I'm like in 3rd grade. So my entire life, I missed her. I didn't know her last name. There was no way I could find her. You know what I'm saying? So throughout my life, and then when I got older, I got married, and I stopped thinking about her, stopped dreaming. I dreamt about her. Okay, and then my daughter was 18 years old, and I started dreaming about Petey again. Her name's Petey. And 2 weeks later, this is when I first started doing entity removal. Okay. And I was practicing on my daughter, and I could feel, so I'm doing it, doing it. This is early. Okay. And I could always feel and sense when I knew somebody, or I could feel and sense when there was danger. I had when I first discovered the dragons, I could feel not a good dragon, that was danger. I needed to pull back. Okay. So this time I'm with my daughter, and I could feel I knew this person. So I started talking, and my daughter was responding, and I asked her if she knew me, and she says, "I know you, Bonnie." And I go, "Is that you, Petey?" And she says, "Yes, it's me." Oh, wait, let me back up. Yeah. And she told me she saw my dreams. She saw, but she came to be with my daughter. She died when she was 19. She came to be with my daughter so she could be with me. Okay. So she was having the similar that I was. So she came into my daughter. I have it recorded, and it was the hardest thing for me to do is let her go. It was just like soul shattering, but I did. And then what happened to my daughter, it was terrible for her, because she felt that Petey in her made her feel safe, made her feel protected. Okay. So it was very intense. Story continues. So daughter's 18. When she was 24, 25, 26, she had her daughter. And when her daughter was born, I was there, and the daughter's born, and they put her in my arms, and she says to me in her, "I know you, Bonnie." I knew it was Petey. I broke down sobbing. My grandson, he's like, "Why monkey cry? Why monkey?" They call me monkey. "Why monkey cry?" And they were just saying, "Well, she's happy." No, because Petey, here's Petey, the one that, back then. This is all real and true. So, people, it's like, whatever activates you. I know I kind of went up on a tangent. Sorry about that. But I even, like, if for me, because of the mother issue, I watched the little movie Dumbo. Dumbo. Okay, when his mama got taken away, and he goes to see her, and she's rocking him, devastating, cry, and even Land Before Time, when the little dinosaur saw a shadow on the rock. He thought it was a mother. He starts calling her. I was like, I just lost it. So what I did was I used those movies to help me go in. And once I got the feeling, I didn't need the movie anymore. And that's the key. Once you are in that state of connecting to the emotion, you don't need the trigger anymore. Okay. So do whatever it takes, and watch a movie, read a book, watch what's happening in the world. Anything that causes you to feel these emotions, use that. Okay. And then once you are in it, you got to drop the story, because if you hang on to the story, you'll just cry about the story. And the story is not the root cause. It's not the past lives. Okay. This is the kind of stuff we'll be learning in Know Thyself. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. So your dad for a long time, then you randomly just FaceTimed him to show him his grandson, and you let go. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Everything's a let go, people. Everything. Yeah. So, use whatever causes you to feel, whatever activation there is, use it. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So she's remembering. Yeah. Remember the story about your friend from another video way back. Okay. It's real. It's a true story. And then, yeah. So here is, yeah. The Rescuer. Oh, those movies helped. Yes. Okay. And the one where the little girl is an orphan. Yes. Right. The orphan thing. Right. Okay. So anything that causes you to feel, use it, but let go of it once you're in the feeling state. Okay. It's really important that you get this piece. Okay. So when you start feeling in, and now you're in the emotion, you become it, you don't need the story. If you hang on to the story, you can't change it because all you're doing is spinning in the sadness of the story. Okay, you got to remember that. We don't want spinning. We want to surrender and let go. Okay. Okay. In October energy video, you have told that we come back again and again if we don't learn the lesson. But if everything is predetermined, how can we not learn what we are supposed to learn in this life? Okay. Good question. Okay. But here's the thing. We make agreements that we're going to be activated. Okay. So as we start coming in, there's still levels at which, think about there's a density. How can I say this? Okay, hang on. So there's a density of darkness. There's a density of veils surrounding the entire planet. We are in that. Okay. So yes, we've already agreed. What we're doing is we're getting pieces. We're actually getting more and more evidence, more and more proof that life is suffering, that we're in pain, that, we're forsaken. And then as a new paradigm starts to come, which is what happened. Okay. Now the new paradigm, veils are lifting, veils are thinning. Now we're able to start really doing deeper work. And this is why I'm here, is to bring forth the teachings that I have, and other people bringing forth whatever they bring forth. But still, there's a determined, like, for example, if you're not meant to get a piece, you won't get it. For example, look at how long it took me to get the piece with my dad. I was meant to get it this lifetime. Maybe if I wasn't, or if I wasn't meant to get it this lifetime, I still wouldn't have that piece. Okay. It's hard to understand fully the soul's journey, but think about this. You have been in other time, space, dimension, universe, galaxies. Okay. You got your lifetimes. You have there's other interdimensional things. There's parallel universes, all these things that we're experiencing as souls. Okay. So it's a journey. It's like, how do we learn things? Through direct experience. Okay. So yes, there are things that will happen. Like your death. Okay. I can't tell you how many people I've seen that should have been dead in car accident. My brother should have been dead. Okay. It wasn't his time. Okay. If it's not your time, and if it is your time, like, for example, you probably heard this one too. I had friends, and these couples went out, they would cut wood together. So here's, they're out cutting wood. And the woman, my friend's mother, she was standing by some old snag and a dead tree. The thing fell over and killed her. Okay. My brother, truck accidents, the whole cab is smashed. He's in there. He got hurt really badly, but he did not die. And the dad presented, and he wasn't time yet. Okay. So you guys, it's the journey. Like this. You go to school, okay, you're learning, right? You can't learn any faster than you're learning. So yes, you're going to get certain pieces this lifetime, but you're all here and you're going to be getting pieces, but that's also part of what you've agreed to have. That's predetermined. If you weren't, either you wouldn't be here or you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, hang on. Okay, is feeling the emotion also true for wanting to say something inappropriate or judgmental? Hang on, what is feeling the emotion also true for wanting? Okay, yeah. People, the reason why we're being judgmental is we got all this energy inside of us. We have all this emotion inside of us. We have all this pain, all this angst, all this PTSD, all these traumas, crisis. Okay. So we're looking at ourselves, but we're finding fault with others. What happens is, when you start really doing lots of deep healing and energy is really coming out of you, and you can feel yourself feeling lighter. Okay. You feel so much more unconditional love for everyone. All those things stop happening. Okay. But you also start waking up to, nothing's your business. No one's your business. Okay. So you won't say anything inappropriate because it's not your friggin' business. Now, nor will there be a desire to. See, this is the beauty of doing, of the unraveling, of the healing, the deep subconscious energies, all the energy in the subconscious, the well of grief and the chakras. You get lighter, and there's no attachment anymore. There's no good, bad, right, wrong. You're not finding fault. You don't have to change somebody, save somebody, protect somebody, make somebody change, wake up. No, everything's perfect just as it is. Okay, the isness as it is. As we also learn this in Know Thyself. Okay, so it's a journey, people, and just keep showing up. Show up. Just keep showing up. Okay, everything's in divine order. Nothing to do but take the ride. Take that ride in that, the river of life. It'll take you where you need to go. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to make things happen, because you can't. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. Okay. Okay, hang on. What is this? Whoops, hang on, sorry. So even if I can't locate the wounds where grief is coming from, if I sit with the emotion, I can transmute it. Yeah, so you could, yes, if you sit with that grief, it isn't just sitting with it, it's becoming it. This is the point. Just sitting with it and just kind of being with it you have to feel it all the way. You have to know it. And if you're knowing it, I guarantee you won't be just sitting. You'll be like on the floor, out of control, sobbing. Okay? Okay, I see it in therapy with my clients, especially couples, how deep their grief goes with each other. I tell them it's not about your story, it's about the emotion you haven't healed. Yeah, and it's not even about it's not about the other, it's their own grief. They found the perfect partner to activate their grief, but unfortunately, we keep wanting to say, you did it. People remember the story I was telling you about my clients in the Know Thyself program, and I was trying to teach one of them around. Remember, they said the guy cheated on her, and all she could keep doing is you did, you. No, nothing's going to change if you keep going you. It's got to be, I'm having a reaction. Me. There's a pain in here. This is why this happened, to activate this deep pain. Betrayal. Okay? Not chosen. Okay? All of those. I did all that crap, in my life. And then the final one was my dad didn't love me. I never got that one. I got the not chosen, got the, abandonment, reject, blah, blah, blah. But the last one was the key that just, gone. So tomorrow, well of grief, loss of others and self. Okay, losses, all the losses. Okay, that means, dead people that died, people that go away, all of it, the losses. All right. Okay, people, I'm going to head out. But again, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and tomorrow we do have a live thing, and I think it's quantum consciousness tomorrow. Wait, what day are we? Yeah, quantum consciousness. I can't remember the topic, but tomorrow we have quantum consciousness at 1:30 Eastern time. Then the group clearance, we start at 2:30. The third part of well of grief, loss of others, and self. Okay, so get that thing cleared out. Then you won't have to be on the floor, shattered and broken. Okay, hang on one second. What's Priya saying? I don't pray for me or others anymore because I understand that everything is chalked out already and stuff. Yeah, okay. You guys, think about it. Think about all these people that all pray for you. Okay, really? You guys, just keep showing up. Show up for yourself. If you get triggered, stop pointing the finger. Keep remembering, me. I'm having a reaction. It's me. You did that. You. No, wait. I'm having a reaction. Oh, what are the teachings? Takes a while to anchor it in, but you'll learn that kind of stuff and know thyself. Alrighty, everyone. Hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. Alrighty.